Hello, welcome. My name is Nick. Many people know me as Key Poems. I'm a trader. I trade mostly Nasdaq. I'm a futures trader. I trade only Nasdaq. And today, I am so proud to reveal and show and parade and tutorial the tools I've been working on for a year that allow me to analyze the market structure and take fantastic trades. I had asked one thing of you, my audience, which is, can we get to 1,000 subscribers on this channel? And then, because I'm working tirelessly on these indicators, I will release them so that you can use them if you want. If you want to try them out, if you want to see if they match your trading style, I will release them to you. Everybody can get them. And the day arrived. You can now get my indicators. You can get them from this address. All right, you don't have to if you like it. This video is about my indicators, specifically the market structure SNDR Origins Pro, which I've been working for a year now, and it's good. I'll show you. So I want to say first, thank you very much. You've been incredible. You've given me support, and you showed me that my content is interesting, and so I should keeping at it. Also, I don't plan for any of this to become a commercial endeavor, but everybody's asking about the tools I use to trade, so I'm sharing them with you. Don't feel any pressure. If you don't like them, don't have to try them. Don't like them, it's fine. But if you like them, let me know. I'll be happy to get feedback on them. So today, I will make you invincible, because with these tools, you really can build an edge in the market. Okay, one thing, wait, don't leave. Everybody clicks away, don't click away, don't click away. One second. Disclaimer. Anything you see here, any product you see I offer, it's not a financial instrument. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not certified to do anything. Anytime you take trades in the market, you assume yourself a great degree of risk, and you can lose everything you put in the markets. Please be very careful. Do not blame me for your decisions. You are your own investor and trader. So I'm not responsible. Anything you see here is just for information purposes only. Okay. All right. Today I want to tutorial and show you how my SNDR Origins Pro indicator, all the options, how it works, how we can use it to take insane trades. Let's go. Let's start the tutorial. Okay. The indicator SNDR Origins Pro. Turn it on and you see some zones, market structure zones. Imagine it's the start of your trading session. It is, in this case, it's actually what happened to me. I reached the charts at around 1:30 a.m. New York time, because I live in Europe and I trade London. So we had to move up, and then price started to go down very harshly. I don't remember if I took any trades here, but let's see what happens. What does this indicator help you see? Well, it does help you see the market structure, the green lines. You can configure it, the colors that you like. Green lines means a break of structure to the upside. The red ones means a break of structure or a change of character or market structure shift to the downside. You can find several of these indicators on TradingView, but I worked 1 year on this. I added a lot of features that you will see. So there's a market structure shift, a break of structure. I mark a zone with shades of gray, but you can customize the color. So you could make them green for bullish, red for bearish. You could mark 50% of a zone, for example. You could add 50% of a zone. And some indicators do that. And you can see that it tracks the zone until it's mitigated to 50%. This is something that the free indicator doesn't have. And it keeps track of zones that haven't been yet mitigated. So we keep moving down. Notice that there's no zones here because there's no complete pullback. So this candle has not been closed to the upside. So there's no zone here. And this is part of what you define as a valid pullback. In my indicator, you can click on show valid highs and valid low labels to actually see when a valid pullback happens. So if you click on it, you will see immediately these triangular dots that will appear everywhere. If it's not too, because if the history is a little bit too, it will only show that there's only a certain amount of labels you can have. So let me do it like this. I'll show you, because the number of labels you can have on a screen is limited. So as you can see, now we have icons marking where is a valid pullback, and we didn't have a valid pullback in all this part. So we keep going until you see, I can see there's a valid pullback. There's even simple trading models just using when there's a valid pullback. You can enter, there's many different things like that. You can turn on the 30% and 70% of a zone, because sometimes you get very nice reaction around 30%. Sometimes the zone is mitigated deeply until 70%. So let's keep going. So the market structure will be highlighted for you, and we're going to be tracking zones. Something. Doesn't it get a little bit cluttered with all these lines? Of course it does. You only want to keep track of the zones that haven't been mitigated already. If that's your case, you go here and you go prune 50% mitigated zones. There you go. And then all the zones that have been mitigated 50% are deleted when it happens. So you can see this. Now if there's a pullback, you know that we might get a reaction from this zone. We might get a reaction from here because it hasn't been mitigated. We might get a reaction from here because it hasn't been mitigated yet. So this already is a huge improvement on a lot of market structure indicators. And I was working on alerts. They're not there yet, where you could be alerted when an unmitigated zone is hit. See what happened there? Let me show you. So we created a new zone, and then we came down to mitigated. And when it was mitigated, the line disappeared. Okay. This is basic market structure stuff, right? It is 2 in the morning, 2:45, 3. Let's just let it run for a while, because I want to get to a point where we will use some more advanced features. I let price develop a little bit more. Wait a second. See? Now you know that there is this zone that hasn't been mitigated, so you might want to wait before you take a trade. I don't know. I don't remember this price action until the moment where I have some ideas about what to show. We let it go on. There you go. So I didn't even remember, but it does make perfect sense. So you see, this was an unmitigated zone, and 50% hadn't been mitigated yet. So the price does the London Open at 3, comes down, and then comes back up and completes mitigating this zone, which had been left unmitigated. There's some other areas that were unmitigated, but we'll see if price gets to them later, maybe. Okay, so we keep going. I just want to show you that the protected level. So in market structure, let me remove the valid highs, valid lows. In market structure, there's a level if a zone is created properly, and there's a level that we call protected level, that if the price is trending, should not be violated. I put there a brick wall, because ideally that level should not be violated. When it does, the market structure changes. So then really do wait until these levels are close below before you try to anticipate market structure change, because many times price will arrive here and then run. It's one of my setups, by the way. So, okay, that was one thing that I wanted to show you. I think this was a final manipulation, and then we go down, if I remember correctly. Let's see what transition happens. Okay, because we broke this protected level, and now we are in a bearish stance. The market has broken to the downside, and now this is an unmitigated bearish zone, and we mark 30 and 70%. All right, so far so good. What is gonna happen next? I don't wonder. Let me see. Let it go a little bit more, and then we do an analysis about a few other concepts that this indicator does show. So far, just basic market structure, and you haven't seen nothing yet. So I am sorry if you're already bored. I maybe should start from the bank predicting insane runs from SNDRs, but this is the tutorial you've been requesting. So here it is for you. Okay, here is where the fireworks will start. Okay, we had the bearish movement to the downside, and there's a lot of unmitigated zones. You can already see that we've been trending, and we've been leaving a lot of zones unmitigated, right? Okay. Now there's a few other concepts that I do use in my trading, and those are supply and demand areas responsible for breaking important liquidity levels. For example, I can I see that something around here has pushed price, and then there was a market structure shift. I wonder if my indicator will show it. Okay, so here's where the free indicator doesn't have this. You can go and look for the SNDR pivots, or SNDRs, show the SNDR, and you can decide how many candles will be taken into consideration to mark the SNDR. Let's start with 3, which is the default. Why do I mark it that you have to specify if you want bearish or bullish SNDRs? And the reason is because it can get cluttered. The chart can get quite cluttered. Now that we have turned on this feature, you just start to see a picture, and the insight you can get about market structure gets quite wild. For example, okay, there was a break of structure here, and this for up move before the break of structure is a SNDR. Look what happens. Price comes back to revisit 50% of that SNDR. That's what we call a double tap into this SNDR. What time is it? 3:50. So the 4-hour candle, the 4-hour open runs. If you have the right narrative, just seeing the chart change color. I didn't tell you what happens. Wait, I can demo it for you. My indicator will track how many taps, how many times a certain SNDR has been reached. For example, now probably it's already red because it's not red yet. Okay, that's good, that's good. See, the first time that an area responsible is tapped, it becomes a certain color, and you can customize it. I'm sorry about this beeping. Here you can customize the color that we will have when, is that the right one? The bearish SNDR. The first time that there's a tap, you can change the color. I don't want to mess up my scheme, but see, you can change the color of the first tap, and you can customize it all. You can show the 50% of it. You can skip it. For example, if we are not interested into the 50% of the zones, we can remove them so that the chart is a little bit cleaner. Now you let the chart go up when, oh, did you see what happened? Did you see? When price got twice into the SNDR, it changes color. And soon, some people have asked, and I was planning to do it, but it's not developed yet. You will get alerts. You can get alerts when a double tap into an SNDR happens. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go back to where we were. I want to get to around 5 a.m. Look, 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 as price develops, this SNDR has not been tapped, so it's in a neutral color that you can choose yourself. Where do you do it? I'll show you. The neutral color is here. So say this is a bearish SNDR, it has a minus, you can customize the name and say you like the blue. That's just the text. Where's the color? Where's the color of the default? Where's the color? Where's the color? Where's the color? That's the color. This one. This background blue. There you go. I changed the color to blue. You see it? And now I don't know what it was. I do cancel. Okay. So that SNDR has not been tapped. So you can keep an eye for a double top into it. Maybe. Let's keep going. Now, at one point, we break structure to the upside, right? Let me go a bit faster. Did you see what happened here? Let's go back. So when we broke this and created a new zone, the indicator marked, look, this is the last upswing that uses 3 full candles to continue. Let's check together if you want to use a single candle that creates a high, if we would have marked this one. I don't know. I haven't looked at this price before, but this is something you need to know. When price does not mark the SNDR that you think should be marked, try and play around with these levels. How many candles to use to define a swing? In this case, let's change it to 1 and see if it would be nice if this became the SNDR. Look at this. Oh my God, unbelievable. See, now it uses only 1 candle confirmation for a swing point. And, you know, both can work. It depends on the time frame that you're using. You can switch between this. Sometimes the reaction is going to be on this SNDR, sometimes from this. I just wanted to show you that. Now you saw that we came back. Because we didn't do a full leave and return, it's only marked as 1 tap. It is what it is. This SNDR has been violated, right? It's the first sign that the market might change direction. It's an early sign. Let's see. Okay, so if we use 1 as pivot, we have that as SNDR, which is correct. Some of these things, it depends on the time frame. Let's put it to 3, just to use slightly wider swings to define SNDRs. As you can see, this was also a down move before. Here we didn't close. So the only SNDR that actually makes sense is this downswing. So we let it go a little bit more. Notice that we have left it, came down, and then came down twice. So ideally we did do a double tap, but it's just wicks. So this is up to you to decide if this is a real double tap or not. Sometimes wicks will happen, especially on the micros. We're on the micros chart. Let's keep going. Okay. Here I want to show you something else. So ideally this SNDR has been violated, so we should continue to the downside. Is there something here that we should look at? Okay. As you know, I take a lot of trades from the origin of the moves. So that is the impulsive start of a move. Sometimes there's a small swing there, and that means that some entity had so many orders piled up that it managed to reverse the actual course of the price development. So that means that there might be still orders around the origin of an impulsive move. That's why origins, some people call them the order blocks, are very important. So this indicator does mark in two different ways origins. I haven't checked how it looks. I hope they look good now. So you open the settings and go to the show origins. You can leave the pivot to 1, and there's two definitions of origin. The last upswing for bullish origins, or the last candle. In this case are just order blocks. So let's try this, see what happens. Oh, wow, it looks like almost I know what I'm doing. Okay, so I draw it from here, but the actual swing is here. All right, let me see if I can do it better. Sorry. So look, this is the last swing, right? So I draw it from there, but it's actually from here. Just for ease of development. I don't remember why I did it that way. And there you go. So as you can see, we did come and we did a double top with a double bottom, at the origin. What time is it? It's 5. I don't know if you guys have seen my videos, but I have a lot of videos about trades taken after 5, usually 5:20. In this case, it ran at 5:11, so I missed it. I was waiting for some shenanigan here and it didn't do it. So, but look, it drew another origin that hasn't been tapped yet. I wonder what's going to happen once it taps it. Oh, I have actually some check about that it only marks taps after 50% in the case of the origins. So now this is where you need to be careful what you turn on, because every zone will have an origin, and sometimes the zone, the origin extends the whole zone. So if you let the indicator run without updating and checking the settings, it might get, you might have a lot of origins. That's why origins I turn on only sometimes. And show you how, if you change the definition of origin to only include the last candle, it gets more feasible, right? It marks the last candle, the last candle before the move, the last candle, even though it draws it from a certain specific candle, but and here let me cancel for now the origins. I gave you an idea of how to use those. You can customize the look, but this is also important that I want to show you. See, this is the last downswing before we come down to test it. What time is it? 5:11. I missed this one, by the way. No, I saw it and then I thought, no, I want another pass here before taking it long, and it was the low of the day. All right. Anyway, so this is SNDR that creates a protected level. Okay, I can tell you the price only goes up from here. Now what I want to show you is that how this is going to be reused later. So look, this SNDR only had one tap, right? Do you think it's possible that these SNDR that push through a lot of elements, levels of price, might support price later? Let's see. Okay, let's see. I seem to remember that at one point okay, this is the money This is why you can become invisible. This is why the indicator is for sale, because I put 1 year of work into this, and it's really something else, okay? This was an unmitigated S&D with a one tap, and price came back down, retested it, and ran. And if you look at charts with this, you will see this happen a lot. Of course, you need to pair this with your own trading model, your own understanding of market price action and market structure and setups. But you wait for 2 taps into an SNDR, and if your narrative is correct, you take the trade. And this is amazing. What else can I show you about the indicator? Let's see, how much I must be talking for. Okay, half an hour. Let's see, what else? So you can customize the color, you can customize the icons. Remember to play around with the pivot, how many candles to use to mark the SNDRs, how many candles to use to mark the origins. I also have something, I don't remember if I changed it now. You can color candles based on, this is still in an intermediate state. I did do a lot of work in coloring candles. Consider this experimental feature that I'm still working on. So be able to color candles green for bullish zones and red for bearish zones, and then mark them if they are mitigated. Let me check. Okay. I need to adjust it. I remember I was trying to be very clever developing this feature, and also there's something extra that it's in here that I don't use anymore, but it can be very powerful, which is the last zone. You decide, you tell it how much you want to risk per trade, and it will calculate the length of the last zone, and it's going to tell you half of the side of the zone is, the zone length is 10 points. Let's verify. Okay, the zone is, maybe you consider this one. Why does it say 10 points? Okay, wait 1 second. So 12.5, or it is the one in development. Let's see. Okay, consider this. The zone in development right now, 10 points, tells you 50% is 5 points. If you want to risk 500 on this specific asset, you need to buy 5 contracts. All right, this is just information box that you can use to get an eye on the sizing. What else do I have for you? Yes, this I want to show you. This will be very helpful for when price gets stuck, or when the zones are not marked properly. Sometimes you get these huge moves with no pullbacks, and the only thing you can trade is the internal structure. So if you get to a zone where nothing gets drawn, you can force a starting time. How do you use this? Let's see if I can show you. Let me find something strange where there's no... Okay, let's do here. See, okay, imagine that there has been just this huge drop, and price starts to develop here. There are some zones in it, but the actual market structure will only change if you reach these levels. So how do you make sure if you want to see the internal structure, what do? Well, my indicator allows you to see the internal market structure. How would you do that? You note down the time. It's Monday 19 at 1:30, okay? So we go Monday 19, and we go 1:30. And then you do start from there. Oh, do you see the start time? So we will start marking market structure only from the time that you choose, so that you can see the internal structure, and you can drag it. You can drag it. So if there's some internal structure that doesn't show up with the indicator, you can use drag and drop a start time. Yeah, that's what you get. You can decide on the size of all the labels. You can prune the existing zones. There's a couple of ways you can show zones, but I don't think if you're interested, just click around. Oh, there is something I want to show you actually. That's important. Let me see. Okay, this is a little bit controversial, but I will talk about it anyway, which is this. Market structure, in general, the consensus is that you want to use the wicks. The wicks determine the edges of a zone. There was a content creator / trader that was using a slightly different way to mark zones, and would only use up close candles for marking the top of zones, and down close candles for the bottom of zones. And this changes a little bit how zones are drawn. If you want to use that method, and let me tell you, sometimes it's very accurate, especially on lower time zones, you have to click this button. So the zones, swing points must be up close for high, down close for low. So if you do it, you will see that because some of these swing points were the wrong candle color, the zones have been streamlined a little bit, and you only get very cohesive zones. Only an up close candle can create the upper part of a zone. Only a down close candle can create the lower part of a zone. Many times it doesn't matter, but in some cases this changes the mechanic and the interpretation of the market. Okay. There's a few other things, probably a lot of knobs. You can change all the icons, all the colors. You can change the style of the 50% lines of the zones. But I think I've covered it, right? I covered a lot of it, and took us 40 minutes. All the video is going to be edited because I had to focus. I hate editing videos, but this time we're going to edit it. Okay, let's go back to okay, this is the first tutorial, and if there's questions, things are unclear, what I explained is not enough for you to use profitably and with understanding SNDR Origins Pro, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, let me know, try it out. And if something is not clear, you can reach me on whoop.com, on Twitter, on X, on TradingView. All my information is linked in my profile here on YouTube, but also on whoop.com. There's my profile, and my website is bento.me/keypoems. And if you found this intriguing and you want to give this indicator a try, go to whoop.com/keypoems and you can try it out and see if you enjoy it, if you like it. I think I'm done for now, and I thank you very, very much for your support. And thank you for the 1,000 subscribers. It really means a lot to me. You've been very, very kind to tune in. Thank you, and bye.